Hi, this is IT Solution Trust. My name is Muhyiddin, and I'm gonna share with you 11 top things about this week. So this is all things I'm gonna talk about. You know it. So this is a kind of discussion. I'm gonna tell you this in little bit detail. So the first thing we're gonna talk about tonight is iOS. So the switches have iOS, and that's called interoperating system. So that is the iOS, and this is the operating system. It is compared to the computers. They have it's called operating system. So they have iOS that we can downgrade, we can upgrade, we can delete, we can install. And this iOS is the one who can allows us to manage, control, and configure our switch. Without iOS, the switch will not able to run nothing because it is like operating system. So without operating system, the computer cannot run nothing, right? So that's what happened. So this iOS stored what we call a flash in the switch. So this is compared to a hard drive on the computer. It's like hard drive. So that flash is a little thing, that chip that handles the iOS and stores this information. So wherever you restart your computer, it looks like it checks the iOS where the iOS are installed. So it always look for the few steps, but one of them is a flash memory, and it's stored in flash memory. So that's the first thing. The second thing we're gonna talk about is switches. Switches work right away. So when you get out of the box, get out of the out of the box and connect the computers can work together. They communicate each other as long as the end device, the computers has the right IP address. Same network, same IP address. If they have, same IP address, same subnet mask. So if they have a different network, they may not be able to communicate because that's the difference. So we need some routing. So in that moment, we need to change the configuration, right? So we don't want to change so far. It is new, brand new switch out of the factory. We take out, power on, and then connect to the computer. Then everything can communicate, and that is the broadcast, the huge broadcast, right? So that's the number three. Number two, number three, switch read MAC address. They decide or make decision based on hardware, and that is the MAC address. As you know, the MAC address are part of the network interface card or the motherboard, so that if one traffic comes in, to forward that traffic, that frame, they check the MAC address table so that they can see where this is going on. If they don't, then there are some issues and the flooding for that IP address, that frame. So they always read the MAC address, not IP address. So the MAC address is the physical and IP address is the logical. As we see, we will discuss that in layer 3 of the OSI model. So number four is a console cable. So the switch comes in the brand new. So you need to change something so that we can use the switch. Is that we need to add some configuration. In order, one of those configuration is to enable, like a remote functionality, because the network we need some to console in to manage remotely without physical connecting our console cable to the laptop or the desktop. No, we need also to enable SSH, that is a secure shell, which allows us to remotely use securely in our switch. Also, we sometimes as a normal test, or maybe not in production, but we can have a telnet session. We can check the connected the switch and check and look for configuration or add some configuration. So that to happen SSH or telnet, we need to first enable and configure those through the console cable. And the console cable, there's a console cable that is connected one end of the switch, that's the RJ45, And the other end for the computer, it can be different connection like serial adapter. In some cases you need it, some cases you don't. You just need directly to the one of the desktops or like connection. So whatever you need it, you need that connection for the serial adapter. That was number 4. Number 5, different models. There is a different companies or vendors that produce or switch like Cisco, HP, Netgear, or many others. And we have in the Cisco side a lot of models, different models like 29, 60, 50, 37, 50, 38, 45. Next switch that is a 1000, 2000, 9000 something. So data center distribution layer. So those are the some of the models. They and they almost it is like functionalities. Some of them are so huge, like data center switches, Nexus. Those are the so huge. They are have a lot of functionalities and a lot of features and capabilities doing things on the network. And number 6 is make decision. That's what we talked about based on hardware decision. And number 7 is VLAN. As you know, the different VLAN, different requirement, we can create VLAN so that one network to divide the broadcast and also to secure our like environment. So that is the VLAN we will discuss also in this layer 3. Also, we have triangle. So when we create a VLAN, we need to create to connect those VLAN through the triangle, so that because the different VLAN can travel the triangle. Also, we have the switches work layers to switches. They work on the data link layer of the OSI model, and that we will discuss also later. And this is number 10 is switches can have only MDIX. That means they don't need the crossover cable. And the spanner tree protocol, that is which control is to stop loop mechanism. So that is a spanner tree protocol, STP. And the number that was the it. So I see you next video.